Force between differential current elements. In the previous class we have seen force between force due to magnetic fields, force on a charged particle, and what is the magnetic field effect on a current carrying conductor. All these we have seen in the previous class. Now in this topic our final discussion is that the force between differential current elements. And here we see current carrying conductor and this conductor carrying current I1. And this is another conductor carrying another current I2. And we know that the same charge elements will repel each other and different charge elements will attract each other. That is the topic in the electrostatics. Here, this current carrying conductor will produce some magnetic field around it, and the other current carrying conductor also will produce some magnetic field around it. So we know some magnetic field will be produced here and some magnetic field will be produced here also. So there will be some interaction between the fluxes produced by each element. So due to this interaction of the fluxes, forces will be produced, and these two forces will be attracting the current carrying conductors. So what is the condition? What is the condition that the forces which are current carrying conductor produces some forces upon the other element. So what is the condition of attraction between these two current carrying conductors is that the current flowing through it must be in the same direction. So here we can see that the current is flowing from bottom to top. Here also the current is flowing from bottom to top. So in the same way, if the currents are in different directions, then these two conductors will repel each other. So what is the reason for this repulsion or this attraction is that the fluxes formed by them. So that is the main reason. And now we are going to know what is the forces between the magnetic fields produced by the two parallel current carrying conductors. Now we can see in the diagram that here two current carrying conductors, of having the same directional currents flowing through it. So here also the current is flowing from positive to negative. The current direction is in this way, and here also the current direction is from positive to negative in this way. So these two current carrying conductors, actually the current carrying conductors will be straight, but we know that only the loop can conduct the current. So this is the way we have seen in the form of a loop here. So here current I1 is flowing and here current I2 is flowing, and we know that the current element, differential current element, will play a very important or key role in our discussion. So a little part, a very small infinitesimal part of this loop is considered as a current element, differential current element, and it is represented as I1 dL1 dash. I will write it again, I1 dL1 dash, which is a differential current element on this loop. And also I have taken another differential current element in loop 2 as I2 dl2 dash. I2 dl2 dash. And we know that here in the previous classes we have learnt that there will be some magnetic field producing here. It is produced by the current flowing through this conductor I2. So let this magnetic field be B2. Let this magnetic field be B2 bar. And here also the current flowing through this first conductor will produce some magnetic field. Let it be B1 bar. And you should consider one thing here. Here only a small part of the conductor will produce, a field of dB1 bar in this first conductor and dB2 bar in this second conductor. That you have to notice it. That means a small portion of the current element will produce a field of dB1 bar, and a small portion of this current element will produce a field dB2 bar. So this you have to notice. And in the previous class we have studied that due to this current carrying conductor, it will produce a field, and that field is called B2 bar. And at this point the field will be dB2 bar, and a very small amount of the field will be produced, and here also a very small amount of the field will be produced. And what is the force between these two current carrying conductors? So that force we are going to calculate. We know that in the previous class the force dF is equal to I dl cross B bar we learnt. The force dF bar is equal to I dl bar into B bar. So this is the formula we have learnt. The force produced in a current carrying conductor is nothing but I dl bar cross B bar. So this is the formula. Now I want to find what is the force of attraction between these two current carrying conductors. Why I am saying that force of attraction? Because the current carrying conductors will flow the current in the same direction. That is the reason there will be force of attraction between these two conductors. So what is the force of attraction what is the force exerted on this current element by the field produced by this, which is d of dF1 bar, that is going to be I1 dL1 bar into dB2 bar. Let me explain this. In the previous case, here the total field is exerting some force on the first current carrying conductor. Here a small portion of the field of the second current carrying conductor will exert some force. That means d of dF1 bar on the first current carrying conductor. Carefully observe this. This is nothing but the formula. There is a current carrying conductor and there is an external force B. So what is the force exerted on this current element by the external field is this formula. Now what is my external field? B2 bar. This field. And where the force exerted? The force is exerted on this current carrying conductor, on this current element. So that is nothing but first current element. So that is represented with the force exerted on the first current carrying conductor. So dF1 bar I represented. And this is the I1 dL1 bar. This is the current element what we have taken into consideration. And dB2 bar, and I am considering only the magnetic field produced due to this second current carrying current element. So that is the reason I have taken only part of the magnetic field produced by this current element in the second current carrying conductor. So this is the reason I got another D here. This is the reason I got another D here. So this is the formula. D of dF1 bar, that is the force experienced by the first current element, and this is the first current element into dB2 bar. And now I want to find what is the dB2 bar, that I want to know. You know that by the Biot-Savart's law. What is Biot-Savart's law will say? I will draw the picture here. You just remember that. If I have a current carrying conductor like this, and I have a current element, differential current element IDL bar like this, and this is the point which is at a distance of capital R or small r, and this is the current carrying element which will exert some force on it, and which is represent the distance between this current element and on this point, it is the distance is capital R, and I want to find what is the field produced by this, which is DH bar. I hope you remember it. So this DH bar is going to be proportional to IDL1, IDL bar, and which is also proportional to 1 by R square. So what is DH bar is going to be IDL bar by R square. And if I want to remove this constant of proportionality to equate this equation, what I have to do? I have to keep a constant which is 1 by 4 pi IDL bar divided by R square, and I have to take into consideration the unit vector. So the unit vector for DH bar, what is the unit vector? Let this point be 1 and let this point be 2. Then what is my unit vector? The force is, what is the field intensity due to this current element is going to be in this direction. So it is AR21 bar that I have taken. And here this is also R21 whole square. I hope you remember that. So by using, this is called Biot-Savart's law, and by using this Biot-Savart's law, dB2 bar is nothing but mu naught dH2 bar I can write. So this is the relation between these two, and this can be written as mu naught and what is the field I have. So DH bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi, where 1 by 4 pi is the constant of proportionality, IDL bar by R21, R square 21, AR21. This is the directional vector or unit vector from point to 2, that is the current element to the point P. Now relate this equation to this. Here what is the field intensity, differential field intensity DH2 bar. So you relate this. Here the point is going to be the first current element I1 DL1 bar, and the force exerted by this current element on this current element. So the force is in this direction. The force is in this direction. So my unit vector is from this point to this point. So my unit vector is from 2 to 1. My unit vector is from 2 to 1. The distance is from this second point to the first point, so that you keep it in your mind. So mu naught and dH2 bar is nothing but, you substitute this in this equation, I2 dL2 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square into unit vector, and this unit vector is from this second point to the first point, and this is AR21 bar. So this is the field, differential field dB2 bar. Now, so mu naught dV2 bar is equal to mu naught I2 dL2 bar divided by 4 pi R square 21 AR21 bar. Now, I will write the complete equation here. So, if I substitute this in this equation, d of, I will write here, d of dF1 bar is going to be I1 dL1 bar cross mu naught I2 dL2 bar by 4 pi R21 square cross AR21 bar. Now, if I take constants outside, then mu naught I1 I2 by 4 pi will be the constants, and I can write separately this dL1 bar cross dL2 bar cross AR21 bar divided by R21 square. So this is my formula. Now if I want to find the total force, so what I have to do? I have to remove this differential. To remove this differential, what I have to do? I have to integrate the right hand side function. Right hand side function. So now F1 bar, my total F1 bar is going to be double integral of, to remove these two differentials, what I have to do? I have to take the double integral of the total thing. So if I take the constants outside, so first I will write the total thing, mu naught I1 I2 by 4 pi dL1 bar cross dL2 bar cross AR21 bar divided by R12 square. So this is the total force. Now if I take constant outside, mu naught I1 I2 by 4 pi double integral of, why I have used closed integral? Because it is a contour integral or closed integral, because the current only flows through the closed circuit. That is the reason I have taken this. And dL1 bar cross dL2 bar cross AR21 bar divided by R12 square. This is the force exerted on the first differential current element from the second differential current element. And in the same way, if I want to find the force F2 bar, the same thing will come, mu naught I1 I2 by 4 pi double integral. Here dL2 come outside and dL1 go inside. here dl2 bar cross dl1 bar, and my unit vector is from, you just imagine, in the previous case the force exerted by this element onto this element. Now I am going to find the force exerted on this element by this element. So what we have to have? This is the unit vector from first point to the second point. So what will be my unit vector from first point to second point? AR12 bar divided by R12. Here I wrote it mistaken. So R12. So this will be this. And you know that this is nothing but a vector triple product. That means some quantity A bar, B bar, A bar cross B bar cross C bar. So what are the vector identities? If you interchange two quantities, then you will get the negative sign. If you interchange two quantities, you will get the negative sign. Otherwise, these are same and only the unit vector direction is changed. So that is the reason we can write this F1 bar is equal to minus F2 bar. That is, the force exerted onto the second element will be opposite to that of the force exerted onto the first element. So this is the relation between forces of the two differential current elements produced by the magnetic fields. So this is the last topic we will have in the forces between the magnetic fields. And now we are going to do two problems on this topic, and you just take the two problems and I will show the solution also. You try to practice it at home.